Hi everybody. I would like to say thank you for the invitation. I'm really proud to be here. So I have a lot of slides. I don't know if we are going to have enough time, but let's see what we can get. Okay. One of the things the web developer thinks about responsible design, they think like responsible design is more like, oh, I'm a designer, I need to know what this is about. I'm a front-end developer, I don't really care. I'm a web developer, I don't really care. So really, design is not just how it looks. Design is more than that. Design is how it works. And I'm not saying that. So, who am I? Like I said, I'm a web developer. What do I do? Well, let me show you just a little bit about my story. I was born in Argentina. I have been working as a web developer in Argentina for a few years. After that, I moved to Spain. I have been working on Madrid on a company called Rumbo. It was a really great experience there. After that, I moved to Berlin, having working in Nokia and OB Maps project. Yay, Berlin. And now I'm working on, I have been working on BBC last year. We launched the BBC homepage for mobile. And now I'm working on a project which is called Now to Be for BSKB in London. So, what do you want to chat about? Okay, we'll chat about responsible design, mobile first or content first, progressive enhancement. The important part here is why we need all the things together. Hopefully we can understand all this part and then put it all together and then focus on the performance. And also I'd like to share my experience on day-to-day working with these methodologies and how to solve the typical problems we already had. And also we'd like to chat about some ideas and how these are going to change the way like we are thinking, we're working. Okay, if you're familiar with the Agile environment, I think the background is familiar for you. Okay, let's start with it. We need to face some new requirements from the business guys. We have some AC saying, oh, okay, as a user, I want to be able to use a website to connect to the web from my desktop. Okay, that sounds pretty easy. But what is the web? What is the website? What is the desktop? We should consider the web as the internet service, the website as the interface, and the desktop as the device. So, okay, keep this in mind. And now, the things, what would happen in a real world. Because in a real world, there are many devices and there are many interfaces. So, yeah, so when me and my team finished this desktop website, when we finished the desktop for the desktop website, on the next day, the business guy come to us and say, oh, okay, you know what? We really were thinking on those little desktop we see on the underground. I think we are really cool. We need to do it for we need to create a product for these devices. So, all right, let's do it. So, on the next day, they come to us with the same idea, but with mobile website. So, oh, okay, let's do it. And the next day, they come to us with tablet. So, okay, finally, they come to us with ebooks. Okay, that's really nice, but I think we need to recruit more developers, or I want to require for holidays, because this is getting insane. Yeah, I think that's happened there, but so, okay, what about future-friendly? What is future-friendly? It's not about the environment. Could be, but not in this case. This is about what is going to happen next. So what is going to happen with those smart watches we're seeing there in the street? What's happening with those smart TV websites, which we can see pretty much on internet because they are so expensive. But anyway, so what about those Windows websites? Oh, really cool. Look, there's a kind of Twitter there. That's nice. Yeah, also we have kitchens. Oh, my God. So we also have glasses. And I don't want to think if you have 2 monitors. What's going to happen there? Oh, God. So, yes, that's the truth. They're growing out of control, and that's the truth. We need to face the truth. So, what are we going to do? Oh, yeah, I forgot. This is even worse. Yes, true. We have different teams working on different silos. So that means if you have like a team working for tablet and a team working for mobile, and now we have a team for working for desktop. So we will end up with 100 teams, depending on how many devices we have. So yes, more devices equal more resources. That could be the solution for the business guys. More developers. So the question we have is, can we develop for all current and future devices? So I don't know what you think, but with this structure, it's currently difficult. So we need to think the way like we are developing right now. And this is when the only one web revolution is coming to help us. Responsive design is a new revolution that changed pretty much everything and is eliminating the need for different development phases on each new gadget on the market. Okay, that's interesting. So because if a new iPhone 5 is coming with 360 or 370, doesn't really matter. It's going to be a device, and it's going to be something we don't really care about it, because we are going to create just only one web. So, yeah. I don't know if you like Lord of the Rings. I'm a really huge fan. So, yeah. I think this slide is really unnecessary because I already said that, but I love it. So, let's keep going. So, just in brief. What I want to create is one web capable to following through all platform, devices, and brand, and those are about to come. Yeah, those are about to come. That's future-friendly. Just one web, one project, and one team. Oh, okay. So that means one team is going to take care of everything. Yes. All right. I think sounds like a good idea. In this case, the business guy. So let's see how this works, because this is really interesting idea. Let's see how this works. So I don't know if you know something about grids on CSS. I'm not the designer, so don't worry. So you know something about grids? What is this? This is a crossing, a zebra crossing, and we're seeing every day. So if you're not a designer, even you can recognize what is this. So that is going to be our fixed grid. So let's say we have a 960 pixel fixed grid. So how are we going to represent that? Okay, so in this case, our grid, fixed grid, is going to be 960. There is going to be our column, our gutter, column, gutter, cotton, well, whatever. So here is going to be our margin, and well, depending on the design. But the important part here is everybody knows what a grid is. Let me show you on code how this works. Okay, my screen is not that big. So I can see my width is 668. It's not going to be bigger than 960, but the idea is, so if I reduce the width, the screen width, my grid is going to be fixed. And if I increase that more than 960, it's going to stay on the middle, and we are going to increase the margins. So probably going to fix it if we make it 500. So in this case, it's going to be, forget about 960, now it's going to be 560. So now we have 665. So as you can see, my grid is fixed inside, but outside is floating. Of course, if you're going to double check the code later, I'll be really happy to provide it. Yeah, let's keep going. Okay, I have a funny story about this background, because can I make a question? Who knows Plastic Man? Hang up. One. Okay. The funny thing is, you know, talking about flexible images and media. So oh yeah, it's just like a Plastic Man, you know, from the 80s. My girlfriend just stay there, like look at me, like what? Plastic Man, you know? Okay, no. So after a conversation of 15 minutes, I was trying to create a pool of questions. So I didn't have the time, but I think everybody knows Plastic Man, so that's why I included it. So let's talk about the important thing here, which is max width on flexible images. Okay, what is this flexible image, and why I consider like a hack? Well, as you can see here, we have a width of 154 pixels, and the real width is going to be 1024, which is the real size of the image. So that means I'm downloading a picture of 1024, but I'm showing a width of 154. So, okay, that probably could be like something ideal, but it's not a good thing. It's against the performance, because probably one image is not that important, but if we are doing on a carousel and we want to do some kind of, let's say 20 or 30 images, probably it's going to run on Wi-Fi, but on 3G or 2G it's going to crash the device. That's for sure. So if we remove the attribute from the image, what we're going to get is the real image. So that is where we are really downloading from the server. So think about this every time you're using max width. So let's see how the BBC News is giving us a kind of solution for the responsive images. This is on the client side, on the server side. There's many ideas of how to solve this problem, because if you think the server needs to give us the images, needs to provide us the images, but the client is the guy who has the knowledge of the screen width. So if you want to communicate, you need to be using a request or, I don't know, some kind of communication. So there's some ways to fix this problem. Here, the Sky News is sending as an argument. So we have width of 100, width of 500. In this case, it's width of 500, but also the quality is different. I don't know if you noticed, but for example, in this case, could be the same width, but it could be with different feature. Could be like using 3G or Wi-Fi, 3G or Wi-Fi. I don't know. There are many ideas around there. This is still one of the big problems for responsive web design. So I invite you to get involved on this problem and go to W3T and give us your opinion. So there's many people there providing some ideas and some kind of solutions. So just be brave and go and do it. At the moment, I don't think it's just a simple solution for a front end. So that's why the implementation of client and server side sounds like a good idea. And finally, the third element on the resource web design are the media queries. So media queries. So hopefully everybody knows about what a media query is. Media queries is nothing new. I mean, it was there for at least a few years. But starting from CSS3, we have the possibility to implement some kind of logic inside. So that means as you can see, we are changing from small landscape, also depending on the screen width, and also depending on the height of the screen. And the elements are going to be fluid enough to adapt to the new environment. Of course, we can say, okay, but our elements are not that simple like this. So we're going to start removing stuff and playing. There's many ways, like we can implement the media queries and see how to get the better solution. But don't feel like we need to create 30,000 of media query to be fully responsive. I strongly believe media query is just a tool to give us solutions and not problems. So I think one of the ideas is just create 3, small, medium, large, and we can say small is going to be mobile, the whole set of the mobiles. Medium could be tablet and ebooks, for example. And also for large, could be desktop. So if you can simplify like this, this is getting better, because we are going to have 1 small media query, 2, and 3. So it's getting really simple and really easy to follow. Of course, if you want to implement double screens or consoles or biggest screen, what we can do is just create one more, extra large or extra large. So, but we need to try to keep it simple. If we create a small, medium, large, one of the benefits of this is we can be mobile first and start from the small. This makes a lot of sense if we create just the core of the application, starting from the simplest layout and the simplest functionality. So that means we can guarantee our application is going to work across the whole platforms. So, or at least we are going to display the core. If we have JavaScript enable or disable, doesn't really matter. JavaScript is a feature. It's not, we can rely on JavaScript in some projects. Some projects could say, okay, our minimum platform is going to be with JavaScript. So that's fine, but we need to remember for example, BlackBerry using SO 5 or less, the JavaScript by enable is disabled by default. So we need to think about those things when we're starting to create our application. So let's see a quick example about this. Don't worry, there's no JavaScript now. So what we're trying to create here is a really simple thing, what is gonna be more first. Our container is gonna be the simplest thing. We're gonna keep these options even when we pass through 640 and more than that. So this is changing, but if we are not overwriting like the rules we already have, we're still having that functionality. So, for example, let's play a little bit with the after. So if we know, if you don't want to change the after, it's gonna still be like it used to be. But if you want to override this rule, we are going to say the main width 640. Can go bigger. So simple thing is start from the simplest functionality, simplest layout. After that, if you need it, overwrite it here. That means if you want a menu on more than 640, if you want to be just instead being in a way, being in a different way, just try to override that rule. The same on 800. So, okay, let's rethink about this. So more first allow us to work directly with the content. That's right, because we want this to be displayed. That's for sure. So, but why? There's a big why. One of the reasons is because we need to think about the content. What's the content is? And content is the basic core which need to be displayed on every browser. So, and if we think like in the future, every new gadget are going to be pretty much connected to the internet. What are we doing is we are guaranteed that our application is going to work. That's the important part. So we can think like our content needs to be like fluid enough. We can think like it's like a water. Our media query is like a limiting borders. So we have like a class which containing our content, and the media query is going to be the class. So, okay, that's fine. Class are nice, really cool. But what happened when this content is not simple enough to adapt to these things? Okay, the content itself as a core needs to be fluid enough, like we said, and needs to adapt instantly to all these new sizes. So all these sizes are going to be the new environment. So, okay, I'm tired about speaking. I don't know you, but what about if we do some games? So, okay. I don't know if you like Tetris. I used to play Tetris on the console when I was working. Good escape. So, yeah. So, okay. I want you to tell me what are we playing here? Yeah, we're playing Tetris, but what are we doing? There. There. So what are we doing? Sorry? That's good. I think I lost the technique, sorry. But the important thing is our blocks are going to be our content. Our blocks our content. And the media query is going to be the limit, the borders. So our content, so, okay, let's do it. So, and our content, like I said, our content is going to be the blocks, and the borders are going to be our media queries. So we want our content to adapt to the media queries. So, okay, that's very nice, but I'm not saying this. I want you to listen to one of my favorite masters.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Okay, so all this concept about fluid is really, really nice, really interesting. So if we are fluid, in the end, we'll end up with same content on same sizes on different devices. We are delivering, a good but not the best user experience for those capable of more. So, okay, what this means? Means we need to be, in some kind of way, we need to be progressive. Because if you have, let's say you have a mobile and have a low-end device, and it's the same size as, I don't know, as a smartphone, last generation smartphone, but they're the same size. So if you're responsive, we deliver the same content. So do you think the guy who paid for that smartphone is going to be happy? No. So what we need to do is we need to adapt our content, being progressive, to get a better user experience. So content needs to adapt to different user environments. We need an adaptation paradigm. So let's see, what we have in the menu. We have grateful degradation or progressive enhancement. Yeah, what that means, no idea. So what is this about? Both are about how well the sites work on different browsers and devices. The difference is where they place the emphasis and how this affects the workflow. For example, graceful degradation differs from progressive enhancement because graceful degradation is the path from complexity to simplicity, whereas progressive enhancement is the path from simplicity to complexity. Yeah, somebody understand that? Not me. Well, anyway, let's try to make it easier. So, graceful degradation. Okay, here we go again. So, the important part here is what the fault tolerance. So, graceful degradation based on fault tolerance and focus on building the website for the most advanced capable browsers. So that means all the browsers are going to have something like normal or substandard version. So, okay, so we used to do that for a long time. So why you're going to change that? Well, let's see. So when we're going to test these devices, well, testing is an important part. Testing for support in all the browsers is not covered and is relegated to the end of the list of the priorities. So yeah, remember when you used to develop, say, okay, we want this to run on, I don't know, Chrome, but say, oh, but what if what happened with the IE6? Oh, that's not a browser, really. Okay, but we still need to take care of it. Okay. Can I quit? No. So you need to do it. So, okay. So, then we test. So, okay, let's talk about progressive enhancement because graceful degradation is like, okay, emphasize on the content. Oh, content. We're not talking about content first. So, not browser. That's the important part because we don't really care about browsers. We don't really care about devices. So we need to emphasize on content. Or probably progressive enhancement is good then. So what is this? So progressive enhancements allow us to access to our content regardless of its capabilities. Or what that means? So progressive enhancement also allow us to feature detect, adapt, and keep up with the latest environments and capabilities. Also generates progressive user experience. That's nice, I like the phrase. We start with the lowest common denominator as our baseline, we add layers on top. Okay, so the important part here is where we put our focus, and also we are feature detect. So, okay. So progressive enhancement and graceful degradation. Progressive enhancement is going to focus on the content, where graceful degradation is going to focus on the most capable or modern browsers. So we end up with saying progressive enhancement is a more appropriate paradigm because it's focused on content, adding layers progressively to provide the users with the best they can get from their device using feature detection. But why are we doing this? Okay, because we need to think about the feature detection as a user experience. If our device is more capable, that means if understanding what HTML5 is understanding what CSS3 is, or all the different elements from CSS3, or it is also understanding what JavaScript is, the user experience is going to be different. So it's going to be better. So, cool. So in the end, with an app with similar but not identical appearance of the same content on different environments. And that's true because we are adding more layers depending on the feature of the device. So, okay, how we can do this on a real daily work? So we can use a modernizer, for example. It's a really cool application which is give us the possibility to work. Here we have two examples, Chrome, for example, and IE8. So I don't know what you see, but it's saying, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, it's Canvas. No, no, it pretty much is no. So, okay, so what happened there? Because you say, okay, it's no Flexbox, no touch, no history, no browser. So what we need to do is we can work on fallback, saying, detecting this, say if you are no touch, it's going to be dot no touch, and we keep the class. Or we just can download a polyfill, which is going to emulate the behavior from the browser using JavaScript. The list of features we can detect with Modernizer is this. As you can see, there are many features we can play with. All right, finally. Yeah. So, okay. Now when you think what the JavaScript is, and on the progressive point of view, it's just a feature, right? So if we're going to be responsive, we don't really need JavaScript, technically speaking. But if we have JavaScript, our user experience is going to be better because we can just, I don't know, do some kind of customization. We can improve the user experience in many ways. So, okay, there are many ways to test our features. We can use HTML5 test for all the HTML5. Can I use pretty much is testing pretty much everything. Also, it's interesting. I will invite you to double check that. So there's a simple example about how to work with Modernizer or Conditional Css. So let's have a look at this. In our case, we are loading the Modernizer. Modernizer is giving us the is changing the class and is adding. For example, here it's going to be SVG, and it's going to be class SVG here. Cool. We can specify an attribute for .svg. Also, we can work on fallback and say if you are no SVG, you're going to be PNG. That could be for IE or some Android less than 2.3, for example. Also, we can work with conditionals using jQuery, for example, and say it has class, and if you're this, so you're going to be that. So if you're this, you're going to show us an alert, but it's no alert because you are Chrome. So there are different ways. Also, you can use Yebno. I will invite you to use Yebno. It's a really easy to understand, and it's also included inside the last version of Modernizer. So, Okay, this is interesting. I don't know how long it's going to take to download this. Okay, here we're trying to load the Boston Globe. And as you can see, is from a couple of years ago, and the site is still loading, but the site is not responsive at all. So what that means is if you are trying to use this site on, for example, on a smartphone, it's going to look like this. Not really nice. Not, for example, on medium, large. It's horrible, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, let's have a look at how this looks today. A little faster, no surprise. If you're going to go for small, medium, oh, let's do it again, small, medium, oh, sorry, let's do it again, small, medium, or finally, large. So you see, the content is fluid. All right, I would like to show you just two more cases. It's done. This is BBC News. How it looks, for example, on different sizes. As you can see, I'm not just giving or putting names like this is on iPhone or something. Just forget about brands. It's about, everything is about size. I need to show you this because I made it. So in this case, what we have here is on small, you can see one column is floating, it's loading fast, it's optimized. So here is the same thing, but because we always came with allow us to include 3 columns, we just simply do it. And the brand doesn't really matter. The important thing, again, is the size. Sony, okay. Another example from Sony. So, make it bigger, make it smaller. As example. But it's all right, I think you already understand what I'm trying to say. That's it. So, yeah, finally, why we put all the things together? I think responsible design is a really good start, but if you think you can do it just without that, it's not really possible. Talking about the performance. The key is the performance. So we don't really care about if a site is responsible design if the user experience is really bad. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The important thing here is the user experience. So if you are planning to load to Max and make it fully responsive, doesn't make any sense. So performance is the key. So if you're responsible design, content first, and progressive enhancement, we'll get it. So that's pretty much everything. Yeah, you can use JavaScript for that. You can detect if you're on Wi-Fi or 3G. Yeah, and you can also put it on and make a different request and just ask for the quality. And if, like, you see an example, if it's Wi-Fi, probably you would like to improve the quality.
So also, what happens when you resize? Do you do another request and fetch all the images? So if you switch from portrait mode to the landscape mode and the landscape mode with a better width, then what?
It's a good question. I think the design needs to be responsive as well. It's not just we as a developer, we need to do it. The design needs to be responsive as well. So if you're planning to load an image like this on mobile or small, that's wrong. Because you're, like you said, you're downloading something really huge. And in the end, you're going to show something like this. So the design needs to be responsive as well. The concept about how to be fluid needs to be responsive as well. So if you have three different layouts on small, medium, and large, you end up make it possible because you use all the JavaScript and all the CSS to look like this, or that. But you finish, or you end up creating a web page of 3 megs. So great. I'm not going to your website. You know what I mean? No.
Do you recommend a good framework?
Sorry. Frameworks. I think there's a lot of frameworks, really good frameworks, but it's about the product. It's about what the business guys want, how long it's going to take. There's some good ones. I probably can recommend you a couple of it. Bootstrap is good. 320 and up. It's also really good and simple. The bad thing is it's framework, so you are tied to that and the whole project. So it's up to you if you want to implement it or not. But it's a really good startup.
So I like this thing, it's a good way of thinking about it. My only concern is with code load. So if you're on a mobile device and you're specifically designing everything to work on that mobile device, you can optimize the CSS very tightly for that device. Whereas if you're coming up with a responsive design that's got all of the CSS in there, but then being conditional at the time, you're going to end up with a lot of unnecessary code load. Have you looked at sort of maybe generating a specific style sheet URL based on the different things that you're detecting in the browser and then requesting that specific style sheet just so you get the tightest level of download just to keep things really responsive and fast?
Yeah, that is not responsive. That is adaptive design. So so if you are, for example, 320, you download 320.css, for example, or 320.js. That is adaptive and it's not responsive. Responsive is just one HTML different CSS. So that means it doesn't really matter what size you are. It's going to work anyway.
Responsive for a mobile device, because I imagine like it's difficult to resize things to space you've got. You can turn a phone man and everything like that. But is it just to make your product in the way you think about it, so you're layering this as you're designing it?
Yeah, you can create your core based on what is going to be your minimum platform. Say, okay, we are going to support, for example, the minimum is going to be 320. Okay, fantastic. So what are going to be your minimum capabilities? So, okay, we're going to support 3G and JavaScript. So in that case, you're pretty much working with a good smartphone. So you can say, okay, all what is lower than that is not going to be supported. So your core is going to be just there. More questions? No, it's not possible. What you can do is a really good question. He's asking about media queries on IE7, IE8, IE7. Oh, even worse. You're not allowed to use the browser is not understanding media query. So, okay, so your browser is like a little. So what you can do is work on fallback or download a polyfill, which is going to emulate the behavior. So let's say you want to run your, I don't know, geolocation, or you want to use Canvas or SVG. So if the browser can understand what you're saying, you can download a library which is going to emulate that behavior, specific behavior, which is called polyfill, or you can work on fallback using Modernizer.
I think we'll be shouting you back in about 2 minutes, so if anybody wants to dip out for the loo, go for it, but yeah. 3 o'clock?